I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I've got some stuff that I purchased when I was recently on vacation in California, and then also some stuff that I ordered. And I'll go ahead and start off with some things that I ordered from Sephora. I was really interested in the new Anastasia Beverly Hills face palettes that came out, so I got the lightest one in Italian Summer, and I do like the packaging. It's really sleek and compact, and the idea behind this was I could travel with it because it's got a blush, a bronzer, and a highlighter, but bronzer is really pigmented, so you have to be careful about how much product that you pick up and then really blend it out on the skin. So the highlighter and the blush are super good colors for my skin tone. So I wish that they would have, incorporated a bronzer that was a little bit more friendly with these two shades right here, because I do feel like this is more of a light medium bronzer as opposed to like fair skin friendly, because it's pretty deep. So you kind of see that in the swatches. But the blush in this palette is what I have on my cheeks today for a blush. I don't have the highlighter on. I think the highlighter is pretty, and again, it is light enough for my skin tone, but it's really, really subtle, especially for like the blinding highlights that I like. So I just have the blush from this palette on today, and then I'll read on the back how much product there is, which there is a nice amount of product in this little palette, so that is good. The bronzer is 0.28 ounces, the highlighter is 0.17, and the blush is 0.17, and this is made in the USA. So again, I like the nice, sleek, compact packaging. So if I could have changed anything about it, I would have had a little bit more fair skin friendly bronzer and then more intensity in the highlighter. But anyways, let's go ahead and swatch this guy for you. So there are some little teeny sparkles in this blush, but for the most part it goes on like a matte. And then the bronzer is matte as well. It's kind of falling off there. So the powders are pretty soft, and for a pigmented, deeper bronzer, that's why you have to be a little bit careful when working with that shade, or at least I do, because it goes on really, really intense. But that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Italian Summer Face Palette right there. And I mean, the highlighter is pretty, but it's just very, very, it's subtle. For me, at least, it's really subtle. And I do like the blush. I also purchased one of the new Huda Beauty Light Glow Obsessions highlighter palettes. So they're calling it a mini face palette, and it is mini. It's the size of her 9-pan eyeshadow palettes, and there's not a lot of product in here. Total, there's 0.22 ounces of product across 4 shades of highlighter. And on the back of the packaging here, it says this is made in China. I do like the packaging. I think it's pretty with her face on there, and it's a hard plastic. And then here are your highlighter shades. So these 3 shades right here work really decent for me for a highlighter. They're light enough and stuff like that, and I can get away with kind of mixing this lightest shade with this bronze shade for my skin tone. And these do have a pretty like sheen to them, but I don't like the way that they sit on my skin. They're a thicker kind of silicone type formula, and they look it almost like it gathers when I'm like blending on the top of my cheeks, and it looks patchy. So this is the highlighter palette that I have on my skin today, and it's probably going to be a little bit more difficult to tell in the camera there, but there's like, it's a little bit patchy. It doesn't like smooth over the skin super nicely, so I'm not nuts about the formulation of this. It's just too thick, and it doesn't look like, super smooth on the top of my cheeks. So I'll go ahead and swatch them for you guys so you can see them. But yeah, I'm not crazy about this formulation. It's just too heavy. And I think it should look smoother on the top of the cheeks than it does. And it's almost like the more you try to, buff it into the skin on your cheekbones, the more that it kind of gathers and bunches up. But you can see the shine that it has looks really pretty. But that could also be in part because I do have a drier skin tone, so maybe this would work a little bit better, like it would smooth over a little bit better on somebody with a more oily skin type. But yeah, for me, it's just a little bit too thick. So that's the Huda Beauty Light Glow Obsessions palette right there, and that's the lightest of, I want to say, 3 or 4 that they came out with. I also decided to go ahead and try another shade of the Kosas Airbrow Fluff and Hold Treatment Gel. I guess I never realized that they called this a treatment gel. For what reason? Let's see here. Let's read the packaging. A clean tinted moussey gel for feathery brows in seconds. Oh, boosted by hair care actives that support full brow health. Yeah, I didn't originally read that when I hauled the other one. So it's supposed to help, like, you know, nourish and help your eyebrows grow, which is kind of nice. But I really like the way that this makes my brows look. It's a lot more expensive than the CoverGirl one. I still love the CoverGirl one and love how that makes my eyebrows look. But there's something that almost gives this like a little bit more piecey, spiky look compared to the CoverGirl one. Again, still love the CoverGirl, but I decided to try another shade. And so I got the shade Taupe. And the original shade that I bought was medium brown. And I use these gels as the primary product in my brows, and then I go through it with a little bit of the NYX brow pen, and that's all that I have in my brows. So today I used the taupe shade first, lightly through there, and then I mixed in the medium brown over the top just to kind of cool down the kind of warmth that's in the medium brow shade. And I really like the color of the combination of these two products together for like my hair and my skin tone and stuff. But I love this product from Kosas. It's such a pretty brow gel. Because these are primarily the only products that I put in my brows besides the brow pen, I go through them really quickly. So that's the only downside. So this guy here has got a total of 0.12 fluid ounces of product, and I believe this is also made in the USA. I'm trying to find out for sure. I'm trying to make it a point to tell you guys that, and sometimes I forget. It says on the sticker on the bottom that they're made in the USA. So I'll just go ahead and attempt to swatch a little bit of the medium brown shade, which is the original one that I got, and I just wish that it was just a little bit cooler, and then the taupe shade, which is cooler. So I really like this combination. It's lighter and cooler. So I put on a coat of this one, the taupe first, and then went over it with the medium brown, and then kind of got what's in my brows there. So if you mix them together, this is the shade you kind of get. Well, a diluted version anyway. But I love this product from Kosas. So that is the Air Brow in taupe that I got right there. And the little spoolie, let's show it to you guys. It's a triangle. So it's got 3 flat sides to it. And I like the spoolie too. Then I was able to go inside a pretty big Sephora store when I was in California, and they had the new Fenty Beauty Bright Fix eye brighteners, and I was so excited to try these because they had one that was a cool undertone like pink or whatever, and that is the shade Rose Quartz #1. And then I originally bought that one, and it's very, very light. So I went back the next day and I got a shade that looked like it would mix in with a peachy pink undertone as well to deepen it up a little bit because it's very, very light. So I got the shade Melon 06, and I mix it with Rose Quartz 01, and I do like the tone that the combination of these give. And so I've got that combination underneath my eyes today, and the formulation of these is really, it's a really thin formula with, I would say, a light to medium coverage to it. And I do like kind of the correcting aspect of it and stuff, and I've tried this a couple ways. I've tried it by itself, I've tried it mixed with other concealers, and I've also laid it down first and then went over it with another concealer, like in the corrector aspect. And I just find that every time that I use this product, it's hard to blend out, and my under eyes look kind of like you can see makeup more, which is really interesting considering the formula is so thin. So even though I like the idea behind these, I'm not nuts about the formulation of them. So let me swatch the two that I got. There wasn't a sticker on my #6 melon shade, which is kind of interesting, but the melon one's got a slightly peachy tone to it, and then the #1 Rose Quartz has got the pinkest tone to it. Oh. And I'm not crazy about the applicator either, because a lot of product comes out at once. But that's the #6 melon, and that's the #1 Rose Quartz right there. So if I blend them down like that, you can see that's super, super bright. I'm going to toy around with them some more, even though I've tried quite a few combinations already, just because I really want to make these work. But every time I wear them, I can see like product. I can see the product more than I can with others. But those are the new Fenty Beauty Bright Fix eye brighteners right there. The Sephora I went to also had a Gucci display, and so I eyeballed these 2 lip products. I got one of their new lip liners, and I got the shade #1, and this is made in Germany. So it's a sharpen wooden pencil, which I do like a sharpenable wooden lip pencil. It's kind of short for a lip pencil compared to others. Like, Here's the Makeup Forever one. There's the Gucci one, which I'm going to compare these two next to each other so you can see the tones. Because this is one of my current favorite lip liners, this Makeup Forever 602 Completely Sepia. But this is the #1 Gucci lip liner right here. And I've actually got this lip liner on my lips today, and I really love the color. I like the lip formulation of it as well. So I'm glad that I picked that up. And then I got one of the Gucci lipsticks in the shade 100 Linda Beige. And this is a very light nude lipstick, and it's also what I have on with the Gucci lip liner. But for like a super kind of bright eye like I have on today, I've really been enjoying a nuded out concealer style lip, but with a light nude lip liner like this Gucci one that you can still kind of get definition out of it. So I've got Linda Beige on with the #1 lip liner from Gucci as well. And I'll swatch it next to the other nude that I have from Gucci, which is a little bit deeper but similar. And that is the shade Margaret Candle Flame, which I wore this little guy a whole bunch as well, and it's going to look great with that same Gucci #1 lip liner. But it's a little bit deeper and a little bit more pink than the what is this one called again? Linda Beige. So there is Linda Beige, and there's Margaret Candle Flame, and there's the #1 Gucci lip liner right there. And then for comparison, here is Completely Sepia from Makeup Forever, which has got more like peach in it in comparison to the Gucci one. But I really love that combination, especially with a bright eye. And these Gucci lipsticks and the pencil, I could smell some fragrance in that pencil as well. They have a floral fragrance to them, but I don't find that these lipsticks taste nearly as much as the new kind of tinted balms that they recently came out with. That like coated my whole mouth with fragrance, which I was not crazy about. And it made me sad because in the store I was able to see the display for those balms, and there were some other shades in there that were so pretty, and I wanted to get them so bad, but I knew that because of that fragrance in there, I wasn't going to wear them as much. I also purchased another one of the Huda Beauty Lip Contour 2.0 automatic lip pencils, and I got the shade in Vivid Pink. And I wanted to get another shade of these because I'd been wearing the Honey Beige formula so much, and I was wearing it so much because it's a more long wearing formula and it doesn't transfer as bad underneath a mask. So I thought I would spice it up and go with the Vivid Pink shade. So here's the Honey Beige shade from Huda Beauty, which has got some warmth to it. And then here is the Vivid Pink. And I wore the Vivid Pink, I lined my lips, and then I faded it inwards and kind of blended it. And that provided a really nice pinky lip that lasted really well throughout the day. So when like you're in the restaurant or something, you take your mask off, I still had some lip color on, so I did enjoy using it like that. And I do like these lip liners from Huda Beauty. They are a twist up formula as well, and I originally tried to sharpen my Honey Beige, so don't do that because it's a twist up. But that one is Honey Beige, and there's Vivid Pink, and again, those are both from Huda Beauty right there. I also purchased one of these Tarte C H2O lip balms because of Alana Davison here on YouTube. She had swatched this one, and it looked like a color that I would really like, and I just like easy lip products to throw on, and hydrating ones because I have a drier, again, skin type. So I got the shade in Retreat. So it's a chubby crayon, and this is just a really pretty pink color that would look good with both of those lip liners, I think. It's got a little bit more of a cool factor to it compared to the warmth in the Vivid Pink shade, but so far I've been enjoying this guy, and I kind of want to get a more nude shade in the formulation because they're just really easy to wear and they feel nice on the lips. So that is the Tarte C H2O balm right there in the shade Retreat. Before I wipe these lip swatches off, I'll swatch the two products that I purchased at the Chanel counter so that you can see the kind of colors next to each other. So I was visiting with the sales associate, and I was still kind of wishing to find something that looked like glossy on the lips but long lasting, again, for like underneath a mask, right? And so she steered me towards these Rouge Allure Ultra Wear Shine liquid lip colors, and I haven't put it to the test underneath a mask just yet, but it almost has a dry down of like a liquid lipstick, but it still has a shine over the top. It's a really interesting product, and again, I haven't worn it enough to really form a strong opinion on it. And I got a really safe shade too, which is the shade 60 Inflexible. It's like a beige with some like golden kind of sparkles in it. And this is the packaging right here. So it's a sheer nude with sparkles in there. So I got a safe shade. So I don't know, like the more intense shades might be a little bit different in terms of the wear. But again, I wanted something that was going to like stay on and not transfer to a mask. So I got that guy right there. And again, that's the Chanel Le Rouge Ultra Wear Shine Liquid Lip Color in 60 in Flexible. And I got one of their new lip pencils as well. I believe these have been reformulated since I'd last purchased a Chanel lip liner. But this is the shade Beige Natural 156. And this is a really light nude, but it has a slight sheen to it. I don't want to say metallic because it's not metallic, but it's not fully matte. It's got a little bit of a sheen, but not a ton. It's not like metallic or anything like that. But those are all the lip products that I got. So that's the Beige Natural Chanel lip color right there. You guys can see the different ones next to each other there. And then I purchased 2 palettes when I was down there. I got the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look of Love in a palette. And I meant to get the, it's like, I think it's called Pretty Blushed. I meant to get the lightest of the two. So I seen the display. They had the light one and then they had the darker one. And I reached behind the lighter one and I grabbed the palette. And then I hadn't used it or opened it since I purchased it. And then when I got home 2 days ago and I opened it up, I was looking at it, I was like, this looks like the dark one. And sure enough, so this was in the wrong spot. So I ended up getting the Glowing Beauty one, which is the darkest of 2 versions of these palettes that came out. So these are her Instant Look in a palettes. They switched up the cover on the packaging of these, which I think is really nice. The box packaging is really pretty too. How pretty would it be if they put that like on there, right? And I'm not mad at the fact that I have the darker one because it looks really pretty on the skin. I was able to kind of get creative with the products to make like the bronzer and stuff work for my skin tone. So there are 3 eyeshadows in here, which are the top ones. You've got kind of a shimmer, one with some really pretty sparkles. That looks so pretty on the lid. And then a deeper matte. You've got a matte bronzer, a matte face powder, a highlight shade, and a blush. So there's nothing light enough to highlight for me in this palette, but I was able to use the face powder and mix it in with the bronzer to lighten it up for my skin tone, and it looked really nice and pretty. And then same thing with the blush. I was able to kind of improvise, and then I used the face powder underneath the brow as well, kind of as an eyeshadow, and with those it looked really pretty. I did bring in Aether Beauty for the inner corner sparkle, however, because there isn't a light matte or shimmer in here for that for me, but the look turned out very pretty when I used this. I'm going to break down and get the other one too. The highlighter in there looks like it's right up my alley. So these are the 3 eye shades right here. Look at how pretty the shine is in that one sparkly shade. It looks so pretty on the lid when I wore it the other day. But those are the 3 eye shades right there. And then we've got the bronzer, which is, it's pretty pigmented, and then the highlight shade, and then the blush. The blush is really pigmented as well. I initially tried to use that by itself and it went on so pigmented, then I mixed it in with the face powder to get it to lighten up because it's like a burnt rose shade. And all these colors together on the face just looked like very summer, very I've been in the sun type of situation. And then for what it's worth, here is the face powder right there. So that is the new Charlotte Tilbury Look in a Palette in Glowing Beauty, which is the deeper of the 2. Yeah, I'm going to end up getting the lighter one as well. The other palette that I purchased is the Coca-Cola 1971 the Unity collection. It says All Together on the box, and this is a Morphe palette, and I had seen pictures of this on Trendmood, and I had planned to order it from Ulta when it launched there, but they had it inside the Morphe store down there, so I went ahead and I picked it up, and I'm really glad that I did because it's a really pretty eyeshadow palette, and I want to say it was 20 bucks. So you have got a total of 18 shades in here, which are like warm shades, and then some really pretty like pastel shimmers over there. And so there's a total of 0.68 ounces of product, again, across 18 shades. And then this guy here is made in China, so it's a cardboard packaging. There are quite a few really pretty mattes in here. So you've got these 6 right here are matte, and then these 2 shades right here. And this little punch of matte when you're like blending out some of those browns looks so pretty. And then this color here is the prettiest duochrome. Like, I'm just really happy with this palette. I think it's a really fun one, but like also really wearable. So I'm glad that I picked it up. And I found that I did get some fallout with when I use those matte shades, and some with the shimmers, but it brushed off easily. But they blended out really well, and it has nice pigmentation to it. These guys. This pretty periwinkle blue shade. And the packaging is fun. Like, the packaging has got little like smiley guys and flowers on it and stuff, as opposed to just that like standard matte black, or the black packaging that they do. And these guys. Look at how fun those shades are. And I like this one better than the first Coca-Cola palette that they launched. I think it's much more fun. And then this bottom row. Good array of shades too, both light, medium, and deep, and matte and shimmer, which is just right up my alley. And then these last 2 shades. This color here is one of my favorites in the palette. Look at how pretty that is. It's like a purple, blue, brown. It's almost like a trichrome. So those are the swatches right there of the Morphe Coca-Cola 1971 eyeshadow palette right there. And I really like it. And then I placed an order on the Victoria Beckham website because she launched bronzers, and I love her eyeshadows. I've got all of her 4-pan brick eyeshadows, and I've also got all of her potted like glazes. I love those as well. So I was really excited that she did bronzers, and I'm hoping she comes out with blushes next. But this has got a total 0.34 ounces of product, and it is made in the USA. So the packaging is similar to her eyeshadows, except for it's larger. So here is one of her eyeshadow bricks in comparison, and it's a little bit thicker. Her packaging is very weighted, but it's also very sleek and elegant. So this bronzer's got a bit of heft to it. It's got the tortoise shell on the lid, and then there's a mirror in there, and there are your 2 shades of bronzer. So each one comes with a lighter and a deeper tone, and this is the shade number 1. So they're calling this one Warm Dusk and this one Contour Sun-Kissed. For me, I just mix the 2 shades together and use them as a bronzer on my skin. I initially started out with the light one, and it kind of pulled a little bit too yellowy, so I mixed it in with the deeper shade, and then I liked it a lot better like that. So this is the bronzer that I have on my face today, and I do like it. I think the formulation of the product is really nice, very finely milled and silky, and it blends out super pretty. I do like the way that it looks on my skin, but it does pull a little bit yellow, especially in comparison to the number 1 Gucci bronzer, which is like reaching the holy grail status. And also I love the Laura Geller Bronze and Brighten in Fair too, but I do like the product. And then this too is refillable, so like there's a little divot right there, and you can pull the pan out. So I'm thinking that she's gonna eventually, you know, come out with refills for these, which is super great. Her brand tries to be sustainable and environmentally friendly, so I love that as well. So those are the 2 products separately right there, and then on my skin I've got a mixture of the 2 today, and I'll swatch it next to the Gucci bronzer number 1, just so you guys can see the tones next to each other. So here's the Gucci bronzer in 01 right here. I just want you guys to be able to see the tones. This one just pulls a little bit more rosy in comparison. That is the new Victoria Beckham bronzer. I do love the formulation. It's super pretty. I had to crack the window because it's really warm in here and you can hear like the birds chirping outside. And then Olivia Palermo launched a beauty brand, and I only know her from the series that used to be on MTV called The City. And that's kind of all I know about her, but her products look super pretty. So I purchased one of the lipsticks and also one of the eyeshadow palettes. And I think that there was also a primer maybe that came out, but these were the two makeup products that she came out with. So the lipstick that I got is in the shade Santa Fe, and it's a matte lipstick, 0.12 ounces of product, and it's made in Canada. And when I tell you this packaging is weighted, it's weighted. Like the lipstick's got a hefty weight to it, but that palette, you don't want to be throwing that at anybody because you'll knock them out. It's really weighted packaging. I think it's very pretty. Very, very pretty packaging. I thought this was going to be a little bit lighter nude, but it was the lightest shade she had available, and it's actually like a rosy, dusty kind of mid-tone shade as opposed to a more nude shade that I was hoping for. But I can definitely like mix it in with something like that Gucci lipstick to lighten up the tone. The lipstick itself feels really nice on the lips. I wore it by itself with, I think it was the Huda Beauty lip liner the other day, and it feels very comfortable. It's called a matte lipstick, and as you can see in the swatches, I wouldn't say this is matte kind of at all. It's not like extra glossy, but it's like it's got a satin shine to it. It's not matte. So that's kind of interesting that they call it a matte lipstick. But anyway, that is the shade Santa Fe right there. And it says Olivia Palermo there. She really killed it with the packaging though. This is like super pretty. It's magnetized. Very beautiful. And then the quad that I got is Au Naturel. There are 2 available. And this guy here has got 6 shades, a total of 0.30 ounces of product. So that would be 0.05 ounces per shade, and this one is also made in Canada. It's like super weighted, like very weighted. It's also magnetized closure, and this guy has got 2 matte eyeshadows, which are these 2, and then you've got a satin up here, and then you've got kind of 3 shimmer shades. These 2 have got very, very fine micro glitters in them, and this is kind of just a shimmer metallic up here. That's the satin. And I really liked the look that came out of this palette. I thought it was really pretty, but I did have to work a little bit extra when I was blending out those matte eyeshadows. They were trying to go a little bit patchy on me, so I had to build and blend a little bit more than I would like, you know, comparing to other matte eyeshadows that I love. Again, the look came out pretty, but I had to work at it a little bit with those mattes. So hopefully with these swatches, you guys can tell whether or not these would be something that you would like. In terms of the shade range, nothing super new there. See, they've got really pretty pigmentation to them. And then here are those 2 really sparkly shades. Right there. Those birds. Pretty though, right? I was just wishing those mattes would have blended out just a little bit easier for me. So that is the Olivia Palermo Au Naturel 6-pack. The magnet is strong, the packaging is heavy. If I drop it, I probably will break it. But there's the Au Naturel eyeshadow palette right there. And then I got my order from Menagerie Cosmetics with the new Serenity eyeshadow palette, which is a collaboration with Annette's Makeup Corner here on YouTube. And I was so excited that I was able to grab one of these guys. That was the day I had the Flight Club palette in my bucket and they pulled it when I went to check out. But I was really happy that I was still able to get Annette's eyeshadow palette. And this is the eyeshadow palette that I have on my eyes today. I was going to keep it just with this palette, but because I had so much color going on, I brought in... I'm such a broken record with this. The Aether Beauty Pure Diamond Dust just underneath this outer portion of the brow right here and kind of buffed inwards. That's what that is. Kind of to ground it because the shadows are so vivid and bright elsewhere. Otherwise, I was going to put the blue underneath the brow. But anyway, I love the way that the look turned out. And I love Menagerie Cosmetics eyeshadows. It does not say on the box packaging exactly. It doesn't say like made in on here. But this is an indie brand and they're based out of Washington if I'm not mistaken. So I'm pretty sure this is made in the USA. So here's the box packaging right here. And then there are 12 eyeshadows in here for a total of 24 grams. So each pan is 2 grams and that's a lot of eyeshadow that you're getting. And then the packaging on this is so pretty, you guys. I love like all of Menagerie's packaging. I love the animals and the nature theme that they have going on and stuff. Then you've got butterflies around here, and it says butterflies make the world more colorful on the bottom of the mirror right there. And then here are your 12 shades. These are also magnetized inside the palette, so you can pull them out. I've actually got all of my Menagerie Cosmetics eyeshadows in like a giant palette right now, and it's just so aesthetically pleasing to look at. But this guy here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mattes and 6 like really high shine shimmer shades. I've got this blue one on the inner portion, followed by this purple on the outer, and then I use the green in the crease, blend it out with the lighter green, a little bit of this yellow on the inner portion, and then I've got the Aether Beauty kind of underneath the brow. Worked out beautifully. Very, very minimal fallout. They were easy to work with. They blended out well. Again, the Menagerie formula is really beautiful. I was so stoked that I got this because it sold out within like minutes on their website. I'll get my hands on that Flight Club palette eventually. That's purples, and purples are my jam. Well, all the colors are my jam, let's be real. And this is currently sold out, but they are going to restock it. So I would follow them on Instagram for the notification when they plan on restocking it. Look at how pretty these are. So, so pretty. And then this last row right here. Oh gosh, these colors are so, so pretty. How beautiful. So that is the new Menagerie Cosmetics and Annette Serenity eyeshadow palette right there. And again, this is what I have got on my eyes today, and I think she is stunning. Stunning, stunning eyeshadow palette right there. I also purchased one of Menagerie's refillable eyeshadow palettes. I believe this holds 12 palettes because they're magnetic, so you can kind of mix and match their other palettes and stuff like that. One thing I wish that they would do is put like little stickers on the back of their shadows with the names on them, because when I pulled all of my shadows out of the palettes to put them in that larger palette, I had to write with a Sharpie on the back so I knew which shades they were, because I don't want to like lose what shades they are. So I got this little guy right here in any event. It's like a faux, or like a vegan faux leather feel to it. Very substantial. I thought it would be a good one to, you know, mix and match their eyeshadows in, and a good one to kind of travel with as well. It's got a nice feel to it. These were restocked that same day as well. I also got my Give Me Glow order in, which is another indie brand, and I got their new Pastel Dreams eyeshadow palette. This guy here has got a total of 1.23 ounces of product across 12 shades, which is a whole lot of product, 35 grams. And this one here is handmade by Give Me Glow Cosmetics, distributed by Give Me Glow in Dallas, Texas. So this is the packaging right here. The box mimics the actual packaging. It's a nice cardboard, very large eyeshadows that Give Me Glow does. And these here kind of have pairings to them. So you've got a really high shine metallic next to kind of a corresponding matte shade. But look at how pretty these like pastels are, especially going into like spring, summertime. I will definitely use this as a pairing palette as opposed to by itself, just for my style of how I like to do my eyeshadow. But Give Me Glow makes beautiful, beautiful shadows. I will say that their matte formulation, it kind of differs like in terms of blend out depending on what kind of primer you have down. These kind of have a almost like a built-in primer effect. They have a little bit of a tack to them. So I've found personally, and also I've heard from you guys, that they can be a little bit difficult to blend out. And for me, I can get them to blend out pretty well over the CoverGirl and Olay foundation that I use for an eyeshadow primer, but with a lot of tact you're going to have a little bit more problem, because again, this does have like a built-in kind of primer to it. So I can see what people are saying when they say they have a hard time blending them out. I would try to kind of switch around your primers, or also maybe try to set your primer completely. I'm somebody who doesn't set my eyeshadow primer because I have a really dry eyelid, but if you have oily lids and you use a primer, I think it might benefit you to set your entire lids with a translucent powder or something like that before going in with these matte shades. It might help out. These are magnetized in the palette, but I wanted to see if the names were on the back of the shadows, and they are not, so I'll have to take a Sharpie if I want to depot these as well. But let's give you guys some swatches here. Wait till you see the shine on these metallics. They're just very, very shiny. So their metallic formulation is also a thicker formula, like their mattes. Pretty, right? Oh my goodness. That almost has a gold shift to it, that purple. And then these peaches, pinks. My fingers are so stained. I think this might be sold out too. I know they launched some singles as well, but they will be restocking this too. And then these beautiful greens. I love those. I love all of them. I love pastel eyeshadows, and this is a really good pastel palette for sure. Aren't those beautiful? So that is the Pastel Dreams eyeshadow palette right there from Give Me Glow Cosmetics. And it's beautiful. Give Me Glow also launched a couple variations of these super large eyeshadow palettes. This officially is the largest palette in my collection. And I think they came out with such a big one because they have the larger pans of eyeshadow, so you can fit like, you know, a whole bunch, but they're the bigger pans. This thing is so big. So I've got a couple, there's like sayings in there and stuff, and again these come in different colors, but I've got a few of my single Give Me Glows in here, and it's just a giant huge magnetic eyeshadow palette that I'm going to put some Give Me Glow eyeshadows in, and I got the pastel one as well. And let me show it next to the Colored Rain ones, because before I got this one, the Colored Rain ones were my biggest palettes. So size wise, here's the Colored Rain, and then here's the Give Me Glow, so you can see that it's bigger, a larger palette. It's a little bit skinnier than the Colored Rain one as well, but that's the size difference. It's massive. And then when I was in California, I also purchased a new handbag, which I can go like years without having any desire to purchase a new bag. And then recently in February, I purchased one, and then I got this one right here. And I was thumbing through, I think it was Vogue's February issue or something, and I seen this bag on one of the models in the advertisements, and I was just like, I need that. And so it was like 2 months, it just came out. So it was for the, I think the spring collection. But this is the Louis Vuitton utility crossbody bag. And it's another little bag, because again, I'm a little bag person. And it's just the cutest thing ever. So it's got this newer style strap to it, and it says Louis Vuitton on it. I shortened mine as short as it would go, and I moved this from this side to this side so I can make the buckle go really short, because that's typically I like to carry them in my hand or put them on the crook of my arm. But it does go longer so you can wear it, you know, crossbody or whatever. I'm kind of contemplating looking at a thinner leather strap too, because I feel like I'm gonna, I don't know, like stain or get this lighter color kind of dirty. So I'm a little apprehensive about wanting to use that strap. But I'm sure if anything, I could take it to the dry cleaners to clean it. They would just have to be careful about the leather. But the strap does come off, so you can carry it like this as well. And this has got a little pocket on there. This is removable, but it fits the iPods Pro perfectly inside. I have got a little makeup brush and a little translucent Makeup Forever powder for like degreasing. Easy access pocket to degrease my face is what I have in my little pocket. But I got the canvas, the monogram canvas. They also had the black leather bag as well, but it was that smooth, like extra soft leather, and it was such a pretty bag, and I like the black bags. I've got some of the black Empreinte, which is a thicker leather, but the one that they had in the black with that leather, I just again knew I was going to scratch it. And I use my bags like I'm pretty tough on them, and this coated canvas just holds up so well. It takes a beating and just still like holds up really, really well. Like the first one that I ever got was a little teeny mini, it's a Nano Speedy, and that little bag could tell you some stories. And it's still, I mean, it's still going strong. So that's one of the reasons reasons I love the coated canvas is because you can just really use the crap out of the bags. I'll show you a little bit more detail. So you open up the strap, and it's got a pretty substantially sized pocket in there. My phone fits in this pocket super, super easy, which is another thing that I love, how easy it is to slip my phone in the side with the top zipper there. And it fits plenty of stuff for what I like to carry in a little bag. So I've got a little pocket here. I've got some lipsticks and some little blotting sheets and a SPF lip balm. I think I have a little for funny in this little tiny zip compartment. Look at what I have in here. This is so funny. This mini Charlotte Tilbury compact. So cute. And then what do I have in this bag? Oh, I've just got, this is my good luck pony that I carry in my bags. Isn't he cute? I don't know. And then some eye drops. Then I got some eye drops for my eyes. So that's the Louis Vuitton utility crossbody bag right there. And I recently saw too that they came out with a yellow and a pink version, which really isn't up my street, but they're also that softer leather. So I'm super happy that I got the kind of classic monogram canvas right there. And isn't she cute? She cute, right? And right up my street for being a little bag lady. And that's everything that I got in that I purchased this week. I also got in one PR package from the House of Sillage, and I didn't know what was inside. So imagine my surprise when I opened it and there was a full-size bottle of the Benevolence fragrance, which is one of my favorite fragrances, not only from them, but in my entire collection. It's like I would say it's a gourmand, but it's not like overly sweet. Like I always say that about the House of Sillage fragrances. There's always like this unique kind of twist to their fragrances, which I just love. Yeah, you can smell some gourmand, some vanilla in there, but there's also like a different twisted sweetness to it. I don't know exactly how to describe it. I'm sure on the website they have a better description than what I'm doing right now, but this is a fragrance, a gourmand style fragrance that I can wear without, giving me that like sickeningly sweet type of scent, which House of Sillage does sweet scents really well without having them be too like overpowering. So the Wonder Woman one is a good example of that. I could just douse myself in the Wonder Woman fragrance, but Benevolence is another one that I just adore. And I'm stingy with my House of Sillage fragrances because I just don't want to run out of them. So I don't use them as much as I want to use them because I want them to like last me forever. But when you do use them, you only need like 2 or 3 spritzes because there's such a high concentration of perfume oils in here. You just don't need that much, and you can smell it throughout the whole day, which is another thing that I love about their fragrances. So a huge thank you to the House of Sillage for sending this over. I love this fragrance so much, and I've gotten a couple comments from you guys who have tried Benevolence and you guys love it as well. So it's such a pretty fragrance. Oh, it's beautiful. So thank you to the House of Sillage for sending that over. And that is everything that I have for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.